Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome to the return of ChäoS said. As for some of you at least should know, maybe not all of you, but Clan I decided to put on hold because I'm waiting for the official English release so that I don't have to continue. I don't have to put it on hiatus for too long after release so that I can catch up to where I need to be, so I put it on hiatus now. And I decided that I was going to go ahead and continue with ChäoS said in the meantime. So let's go ahead and load up my save. I believe both of these saves are pretty much the same time. Yes, they are. They're about a minute apart. So we'll just go with load number 1. As someone who only goes to school 2.5 times a week, I couldn't do anything to make myself stand out. In any case, it was important to just be there, kind of like the air. To safely and peacefully make it through the day without catching the eyes of the teachers or any delinquent types, and without having anyone interfere with me, that was the goal of my school life, and it would probably help if I start my timer. I attend Sumi Private Academy. I might have mispronounced that. It doesn't have much of a history. I hear that it was founded about 10 years ago. It doesn't have... the building is neat and trim looking, and a lot of TV dramas about teaching are shot there. The uniforms were apparently designed by a famous designer, so quite a few of the girls are airheads who entered the school just because they wanted to wear the uniform. It's ostensibly a prep school, but the percent of people who continue on to college is at the upper middle level. Hilariously enough, they even use the blurb "a free creative school atmosphere" as a selling point for new students, regardless of the fact that the school regulations are very strict. Although the rules are in the process of becoming rules only in name. Besides, it isn't entirely off the mark to describe it as a free creative school atmosphere, I guess. After all, someone like me, who only comes 2.5 times per week, can keep rising to the next grade like anyone else. As might have been expected, when I reached the front of the school, the other students on their way there started getting noisy. I'm not so good with crowds. I hunched over as I passed through the school gates. In my heart, I went on fervently reciting, "No one talk to me, no one talk to me," over and over. My little sister, who's 1 year younger, goes to this school too, but she lives with my parents. A day when I run into her is a tragic day indeed. Luckily, today I managed to get to my classroom without encountering her and in one piece. I quickly took my seat so as not to meet anyone's eyes. I had the feeling that the group of girls chatting nearby tossed me a look, but it was only for a second and they went back to their conversation without saying anything. Deep down, they viewed me as a creep, no doubt about it. From my point of view, 3D girls are far more creepy. It's fine by me if they think I'm a creep. If they don't notice I'm here, all the better. If they just do that, then I'll go on living in silence without giving them any trouble. I often wonder what's wrong with the people who call me creepy. I don't get it. It almost seems like they want the attention of the people they're calling creeps. I was in my seat, just hunched over my desk, staring at its surface.
Yo, Taku.
Suddenly, someone smacked me lightly on the back. It startled me and I raised my head.
お前、今日って学校来る日だっけ?
三角くん。
My classmate, Misumi Daisuke, was giving me a grin. He was pretty good looking, and all the girls seemed to like him. He himself openly declared how much he liked women, and for him to say he was dating several people at once. From my perspective, he was a guy who jumped fully into delinquent territory. If possible, I'd have preferred to not have any connection to him at all, but...
相変わらず暗い顔してんな。ゲームのやりすぎで寝不足か?
別に。
He was the only person in the entire class who talked to me. I wonder why he always started talking to me. Our hobbies and personalities aren't even slightly similar. It'd been on my mind since we became classmates this year. If, hypothetically, I were a girl, I would kind of understand, but being a guy, I don't know why he talked to me.
引きこもりだからしゃあねえかもしんねえけどよ。もっとこう、ハキハキ答えろって。
If I could, I'd have done so a long time ago. It was almost painful for me to talk to 3D human beings. Anxiety keeps my voice from coming out properly since I don't normally talk much. I can't articulate myself well through speech, and I shriek back because I'm scared I might say something stupid and be made fun of. I wish people wouldn't talk about stuff like they know, or stuff like they know nothing about. We're just gonna ignore the fact that that doesn't seem to make any real sense. They have no clue how hard it is for me. Oh, but I'm no Hikikomori. A Hikikomori is someone who shuts himself up in his room 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I'm different.
女相手に緊張するならともかく、そういう態度されると、俺らホモと思われるじゃねえか。
Hold up, he really doesn't like girls and he's really into guys? In a hurry to put some distance between us, I pulled away. I almost fell out of my chair. Flustered, I had to grab onto my desk.
何してんだお前。
Oh,
三角くんはホモなの？
なわけねえだろ。お前、俺の女好きを忘れたのか？
だよね。はあ、ビビった。
ちなみに。
Yasumi quickly checked out our surroundings, grinned, and lowered his voice.
昨日、このクラスの女子で3人目を落とした。
Not really.
誰だか聞きたいか？
Not particularly interested.
いいよ、別に。
だよ、もっと興味示せよ。田中だぜ、田中。
田中って誰？
Yeah, exactly.
お前、もうすぐ10月だったのに、未だに同じクラスのやつの顔を覚えてねえのか？
Even for me, that's a normal occurrence. I don't know my classmates' names half the time.
ま、3次元に興味ないんじゃ、それも当然か。
Although I do remember their faces, just not their names. Exasperated, he shrugged his shoulders and let out a sigh. However, up until the present, he had never once belittled me for my hobby, that is, the fact that I love 2D characters. He didn't call me creepy or anything, it wasn't to his taste, so he didn't overstep himself. Looking at that side of him, he didn't seem like such a bad guy. This might have been this might be why I unintentionally fell into conversations with him whenever he started talking to me.
これでうちのクラスの可愛い女はほぼ攻略完了だ。
So I guess there were like only 3 cute girls in this class, according to him. Well, he says practically all, so I guess there's a couple more. So maybe like 5 in all in this class.
そろそろ隣のクラスに守備範囲広げようかって思ってんだよ。
Maybe he isn't that good of a guy after all. If the girls overheard this, I think they'd be appalled.
D 組によ、めったに学校来ねえけど、すごくいい女がいるらしいんだよ。なんか、そういうの、燃えねえか。あ、お前の場合は燃えるんじゃなくて、燃えだっけか？
I wish people wouldn't toss around the word moe without knowing what it means.
ま、お前の興味ねえ話はそろそろやめるか。じゃあよ、ニュージェネの話知ってるだろ？
Honestly, it surprised me to hear those words coming out of his mouth. I thought he was a person who didn't think about anything other than women. Oh, okay. So, When that is spinning, it means it does a whole new thing, but when it's a blue one that's sort of pulsing out, it just means that next time you click, there's going to be a new line. Okay, that helps me out a little bit. I couldn't picture him watching the news or reading the paper.
集団ダイブの事件さ。あれも噂によると殺人らしいぜ。
へえ。
マジだって書いてあったんだよ、スポ島に。
Oh, it was written in the sports newspaper, so it must be true. So his source was the sports newspaper. Wouldn't that make it completely unreliable? Besides, I've already heard that news, not that it had caught my interest.
で、聞いて驚け。その殺人鬼が女で、しかもかなり美人だって目撃証言があんだよ。
女。
As I watched Masumi tell me this excitedly, the dots finally connected. I saw why Masumi had suddenly started reading the sports paper, which she normally wouldn't have given the time of day. It had to do with a girl. I guess you could call this a natural development. Would he be cool with a murderer as so long as she was cute? Speaking for myself, I'd be okay with that if she were a 2D character, but... Masumi cast his eyes at the blue sky beyond the window. His face took on a far-off look. Why is he looking like he just achieved enlightenment or something?
どんなやつなんだろうな、犯人って。本当に美人なのかな。会ってみて。
Just now, I became certain of the fact that this is a guy who loves solely through the lower half of his body.
俺だけは殺されねえ自信があんだよな。だってほら、俺ってかっこいいだろ。いくら連続殺人鬼でも、俺みたいないい男に会ったら、コロッと惚れちゃうぜ。
Keep telling yourself that one, bud. That's why you won't get killed? The frivolity of his train of thought whooshed clear over my expectations. I reeled back from the Masumi who proved himself able to say such a thing breezily and without hesitation.
僕は興味ないから。
でもよ、興味ないっつったって、犯人は絶対この辺うろうろしてんだぞ。どっかですれ違ってたりするかもしんねえし。
What if Masumi were the killer? No, I could certainly rule that much out, but I couldn't completely deny the possibility that it was one of the students here. If that were the case, maybe I should say I have post-traumatic stress disorder to maneuver my way into graduating even with insufficient attendance.
なあ、今日俺と一緒に殺人現場見に行かね。ここから歩いて行けんだってよ。まだ血とか残ってるらしいぞ。
What happened to my mouse? My mouse disappeared. Give me my mouse back. No! Really? All I wanted was to peacefully and safely take my classes, hurry up and go home, meet my Sarah? I guess Sarah, I don't know. And return to the world where I can become a god. There we go, got my mouse back, finally.
もう小橋と長谷川は見に行ったって言ってたしよ。
Some of you guys might be noticing a bit of flicker on my mouse. That's the issue here. For whatever reason, my mouse is flickering while recording this. I think I'm gonna have to try something else to launch the game. Yeah.
本当に興味ないんだ。
I felt bad for turning down Masumi, who was getting so into it, but I couldn't go along with this. Oh, wait, what? Choices time! Don't do this to me! So I squeezed out my voice with the intention of somehow refusing him, but he wouldn't listen.
そしたら犯人とばったり会っちゃったりしてな。犯人は犯行現場に戻ってくるってよく言うだろ。
Or something. I don't know what the hell that was. I hit the green one. Hopefully it doesn't mean that I die or something.
で、次はタクがターゲットにされるんだ。死をもって罪を償い。みたいな。罪状はそうだな。引きこもってたからってことで。
Of course, there was no reason for me to want to see blood or anything. That kind of thing is too terrifying. Damn it, give me my mouse back again. It wasn't a haunted mansion type attraction or a horror film. People were being killed in real life, and the perpetrator still hadn't been caught. I didn't want to go anywhere that might be even a tiny bit dangerous. Even so, I found myself wondering about the new gen criminal's motive. Were the incidents pleasure killings by someone with a couple screws loose in his or her head? It might be most fitting to think along those lines. Well, whatever. It had nothing to do with me. By the way, I'm also a mass murderer. Despite having killed so many, I'm treated like a hero nevertheless, inside Ensu, that is, LOL. That comparison alone is enough to prove that the 2D world is unquestionably better than the real world. While frantically turning down Misumi's invitation, I internally pictured myself throwing one straight punch after another. A murderer, you say? I'd smash a guy like that to pieces the second I met him. By sinking into delusions like that, I was capable of killing or saving anyone. Someone who tried to enact it in real life would be a pure idiot for not thinking about the consequences. Even the new gen killer would have to get caught pretty soon, and after being put in jail for several decades, then he'd get executed. I wanted to tell that killer. Ha! If only you'd stuck to doing it in your imagination and left it at that. Or I guess, ha-ha! Whatever. I don't care. I went out to buy dinner. That was an interesting transition. It was on the road to the neighborhood convenience store I usually frequent. It's about 3 minutes from from my base by foot. Familiar scenery, a filthy street. But unlike any other day, today I was attacked by the peculiar sensation that I had gotten lost in a different world altogether. Although the scenery itself hadn't changed, it was as if I were setting foot in this place for the first time. Apparently this is called ChäoS. I've looked it up online before. I think he's trying to say deja vu. Or something similar to that. Also, the rotten stench of raw garbage was floating in the air. The seeping moisture that clung to my skin was enough to make me mistakenly think it was raining. The air seemed to paste itself to me. A sound. I faintly heard the sound of something being dragged along. I stopped my feet and listened closely. The sound was coming from the depths of a narrow alley that bent away to the left of where I was standing. Or so it seemed, anyway. There were no street lamps, really, and no light coming from the nearby houses. I see a street lamp. Which is why I couldn't quite tell what lay at the end of the road, even if I strained my eyes. To think that a place of such deep darkness could be found in modern Japan, not to mention in Shibuya, which is right up there with Shinjuku when it comes to being labeled a city that doesn't sleep. It was kind of like being in a haunted house. No, there was one aspect in which it differed conclusively from a haunted house. That was the fact that this darkness wasn't man-made. I didn't want to go there. It would be better not to go there. And my heart kept warning myself. But as if I were being sucked in by the sound that continued unbroken, my feet took an inexplicable step forward. The fear that something awful would happen if I kept going. My heart pounded violently and greasy sweat poured down my forehead. Someone left forth a lovely noise. It reached my ears as a whisper. And that someone suddenly grabbed my forearm. It was so abrupt that I fell into a panic and tried to scream, but it wouldn't come out, and it took all my strength merely to expel air from my throat. Terror made me want to run away any second now. My body wouldn't listen to me. My feet froze on the spot and wouldn't move a millimeter. The hand of the person grabbing my arm, it entered my field of vision. It was a deep green and was thin as a mummy's, with countless veins protruding, and didn't look at all like it belonged to someone living.
行くのは
It truly wouldn't have been strange for me to fall on my ass right there and lose control of my bladder, yet her voice was oddly easy on the ears, and my erupting fear steadily came under control.
危険
That low, tense voice. I slowly turned around. The first thing that flew into my eyes was the Sumi Academy emblem. It's something that's sewn onto the breast of all Sumi uniforms. I could tell she was a girl from the fact that she was wearing a skirt. But I didn't have the courage to look at the most important part, her face, because she was standing closer than I'd expected. It took all my effort to avert my eyes. Something was wrong here. Sensing that in a corner of my head, I took a second look at my upper arm. A girl's delicate and feminine fingers were what was gripping my arm, even though all I had seen previously was a green guro hand. Who was she? Who was this girl? What kind of face did she have? What kind of face was she looking at me with? What was she doing here? Various doubts ran through my mind, but I couldn't bring myself to speak to her, so all I did was hang my head. Without my noticing it, the dragging sound had vanished.
もう帰って
As though to replace that, what came from her body
ね匠くん
was the scent of blood.
これはいい。
See, how long is this video? Because I may cut it off right here, because this seems like a fairly reasonable place to cut it. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable place to cut it. My timer has like 9 minutes left, but like I said, I think this is a pretty nice place to cut it, actually. Just after that little transition there. So, open save screen. Yep, overwrite that save. Thank you very much. And exit there. So yeah, I'm gonna go and cut this off here. So as always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time. And until then, farewell.